Growing up in the 90s, the cast of Party of Five weren't just actors to us. They were our childhood crushes, our best friends, and our second family. Today, let's slow down, take a trip down memory lane, and see how our favorite stars have grown beautifully in 2026. Kicking off our list at number 1 is Neve Campbell, the girl who made us feel every single emotion a human heart could hold. She was just 20 years old when she first walked onto our screens as Julia Salinger, that wide-eyed girl carrying the weight of an entire family on her shoulders. She didn't just play the role, she lived it, and we felt every tear, every desperate reach for love, every quiet act of courage. Julia made us believe that even the most broken hearts could find their way home. In 2026, Neve is 52 years old, and time has been so incredibly kind to her. That same depth and fire that made Julia unforgettable, it never left. After Party of Five ended, she became a global icon as Sidney Prescott in the Scream franchise, a role she returned to triumphantly in Scream 7 in February 2026, earning $7 million and drawing the franchise's highest opening weekend ever. She also stars in The Lincoln Lawyer on Netflix, now in its 4th season, and joined the cast of Black Doves on Netflix in late 2025. A trivia gem for true fans, Neve was actually living in Canada when she auditioned for Party of Five. She packed up her entire life and moved to Los Angeles the very day she won the role. That kind of all-in commitment, it shows in every frame. Still carrying that familiar sparkle in her eyes, this woman is living proof that grace only deepens with time. If you thought that transformation was surprising, wait until you see who is coming up next. Coming in at number 2 is Jennifer Love Hewitt, the girl next door who somehow also became everyone's dream. She joined the show at 16 as Sarah Reeves, Bailey's sensitive, searching girlfriend, and from that very first episode, she made you feel like she was your friend, not just Bailey's. Sarah's vulnerability, her need to understand who she truly was, resonated with an entire generation of young women who were asking the same questions. In 2026, Jennifer Love Hewitt is 47 years old, and she is absolutely radiant. Aging with such beautiful grace, she is one of those rare people who seems to grow more magnetic with every passing year. After her Party of Five days, she became a scream queen alongside Neve in I Know What You Did Last Summer. Then starred in beloved series Ghost Whisperer and Criminal Minds. Today, she remains one of television's most dependable stars as Maddie Buckley on 911. A show she has been part of since 2018 and continues to this day in 2026. Fun fact, Jennifer's character Sarah was originally meant to be a minor role in just a handful of episodes, but the chemistry was so undeniable that she became a series regular for 5 full seasons. At number 3, bringing a quiet intensity to every single scene he was in, Matthew Fox. He was 27 years old when he stepped into the role of Charlie Salinger, the reluctant big brother who didn't want the responsibility but showed up anyway. Charlie was flawed, sometimes selfish, sometimes fumbling, and that's exactly why we loved him. He made us feel that you don't have to be perfect to be good enough. His journey through fatherhood, illness, and love was one of the most quietly powerful arcs in 1990s television. Matthew Fox is 59 in 2026 and still carrying that brooding, magnetic presence that once made the whole world fall for Dr. Jack Shepherd. After Party of Five, he starred in 6 seasons of that landmark ABC drama before pivoting to films like Alex Cross, World War Z, and Bone Tomahawk. He came out of a long retirement to reunite with Party of Five director Denny Gordon on the thriller Last Light. He shares 2 sons with his wife Margarita Runke, whom he married all the way back in 1992. a man of remarkable loyalty, on screen and off. While some embraced the spotlight, our next star chose a path no one saw coming. At number 4, a girl who stole our hearts the very first time she picked up that violin, Lacey Chabert. She was just 11 years old, 11, when she stepped into Claudia Salinger's shoes. And what she gave us was not a performance, it was a mirror. That awkward in-between stage, that desperate longing to be seen and understood, the weight of grief carried in a child's body. Claudia's story made an entire generation feel less alone in their most confusing years. Lacey is 43 in 2026, still as warm and luminous as ever, still that sparkle in her eyes that made producers say, "There she is," the moment they met her. Did you know she was also performing on Broadway in Les Miserables at just 9 years old, even before Party of Five? A prodigy in the truest sense. After the show, she became the beloved queen of Hallmark Channel movies, starring in over 30 of them, including A Merry Scottish Christmas in 2023, a reunion with Scott Wolf that made fans cry happy tears. She voices beloved animated characters and continues to be one of the most cherished figures in family entertainment. Coming in at number 5 is Scott Wolf, the heartthrob who made the entire world's heart skip a beat. He was 25 when he became Bailey Salinger, and from the very first episode, something remarkable happened. The entire audience wanted to protect him. Bailey's battles, his grief, his tendency to carry everything alone, his quiet spiral, felt so real because Scott never played them for drama. He played them for truth. That is the rarest gift an actor can have. Scott Wolf is 57 years old in 2026. And here's a beautiful little trivia for you. He was the very first actor cast for Party of Five. The moment he walked into that room and auditioned, the decision was made on that same day. Some things are simply meant to be. After the show, he starred in Everwood, Perception, V, and spent 4 beloved seasons as Carson Drew, Nancy Drew's father, on the CW's Nancy Drew. Most recently, he appeared in Doc in 2025. His journey reminds us that the quiet, steady ones always endure. If you thought that transformation was surprising, wait until you see who's coming up next. At number 6, the loyal best friend everyone wished they had. Scott Grimes. Will McCorkle was the kind of friend we all needed in our teenage years. Steady, funny, and always there. Scott made Will feel real, not because Will had dramatic storylines, but because loyalty itself is its own quiet kind of heroism. There is something deeply comforting about a character who just shows up, and Scott brought that warmth effortlessly. Scott Grimes is 54 in 2026. Time has been wonderfully kind to him, and his career has only grown richer. Here's a fun fact. Before Party of Five, a teenage Scott was already starring in Critters, 1986, and its sequel, a horror franchise. From battling alien creatures to voicing the beloved Steve Smith on American Dad since 2005, a role he continues to this day, Scott has been making audiences laugh and gasp for over 4 decades. He also starred in Band of Brothers, ER, The Orville, and appeared in Christopher Nolan's Oppenheimer in 2023. A career as rich and full as they come. At number 7, the brooding bad boy who made Julia's heart and ours race, Jeremy London. Griffin Holbrook was the kind of character you knew was complicated the moment he rode onto screen. And yet, there was something genuinely tender beneath the surface that made you root for him with everything you had. Griffin taught us that love doesn't always look the way we expect it to. Sometimes it looks like a motorcycle and a leather jacket and a boy trying in all the wrong ways to be worthy of someone extraordinary. Jeremy London is 53 in 2026. Here is a trivia detail that surprises many fans. Jeremy has an identical twin brother, Jason London, who is also an actor, born just 27 minutes apart. Two faces, two entirely different careers, both in Hollywood. After Party of Five, Jeremy went on to star as Chandler Hampton on Seventh Heaven and continued working steadily in independent films throughout the years, including several projects in 2023 alone. He's shown a quiet persistence that deserves genuine admiration. While some never left our screens, our next star chose to bloom in beautiful, quieter spaces. Coming in at number 8, a woman whose warmth leapt off the screen in every single scene. Jennifer Aspen. Daphne Jablonsky arrived in the final seasons of Party of Five and immediately felt like she belonged to this family's world. There was something about Daphne's rough edges and enormous heart that made her feel achingly human. She didn't walk in as a heroine. She walked in as a real person. And Jennifer made sure we understood the difference. Jennifer Aspen is 52 in 2026. She received a SAG Award honor for her work on Glee and has accumulated nearly 100 screen credits across shows like Grey's Anatomy, 911, Sharp Objects, and The Good Doctor. More beautifully, she has stepped fully into producing as well, with executive producer credits on Hallmark films as recently as 2025. She's built something truly full and fulfilling in this industry, entirely on her own terms. At number 9, the woman who became the quiet heart of the Salinger household, Paula Devicq. Kirsten Bennett came into these children's lives as their nanny and stayed as their family. There is a special kind of love in choosing a family that didn't start as yours, and Kirsten embodied that with such gentle grace that watching her felt like being wrapped in something warm. Paula gave us one of the most understated and beautiful love stories of the entire series. Paula Devicq is 60 years old in 2026, and she carries the elegance of someone who has always known exactly who she is. Born in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada, she actually began her career as a model, winning Elite Modeling Agency's Look of the Year competition and working in Paris for brands like Estée Lauder and L'Oreal, before acting found her entirely by chance. After Party of Five, she appeared in Rescue Me, Arbitrage, and Finding Julia in 2019. She has chosen a beautifully private life away from the spotlight in recent years, and we respect that journey entirely. At number 10, the quiet, brilliant one who surprised everyone, Michael Goorjian. Justin Thompson was Julia's first real love, the kind, slightly nerdy boy who adored her completely. And in a show full of dramatic, complicated love stories, Justin's devotion felt like a reminder that simplicity and sincerity are their own kind of profound. His love for Julia, patient, steady, never demanding, made us wonder every time whether Julia truly knew what she was letting go. Michael Goorjian is 55 in 2026. Here is a remarkable piece of trivia. Before Party of Five even aired, Michael had already won an Emmy Award for Outstanding Supporting Actor for a miniseries for David's Mother in 1994, beating out legends like Alan Alda and Ian McKellen. An Emmy winner who joined a show as a recurring character, only in Hollywood. Since then, he has grown into a remarkable filmmaker and writer, directing the acclaimed Amerikatsi in 2022, a deeply personal film about the Armenian genocide that reflects his own family heritage. His story is one of the most quietly extraordinary in this entire cast. And now we save this final, unhurried space for someone whose story deserves to be told slowly and with tremendous love. Jacob Smith. He was just 8 years old when he took on the role of Owen Salinger in seasons 5 and 6 of Party of Five. The littlest Salinger, the baby brother who had never known a world with his parents in it. Owen carried innocence in every scene, and Jacob carried it beautifully. Something about watching that small boy look up at his older siblings, trusting them entirely. That image lives in the hearts of everyone who watched this show. Jacob Smith is 36 years old in 2026. After the show ended, he went on to appear in Cheaper by the Dozen and Cheaper by the Dozen 2 alongside Steve Martin and Hilary Duff. His final acting credit came in 2006, when he was just 16 years old. He made a quiet choice to step away from the spotlight entirely. Since then, he graduated from Charis Bible College in 2018, found his community, his faith, and his peace. And by all accounts, he is living a joyful, grounded life in Los Angeles with his French bulldogs, Bella and Benji. There is something deeply beautiful about a person who walks away from fame at 16 and builds a life that is entirely, authentically his own. No performance, no applause, just a real life lived with intention. Not every hero needs a spotlight. Some heroes simply choose to live, and that, in itself, is the most beautiful role of all. And so, here we are, at the end of our trip down memory lane together. The Salinger family taught us that you don't need perfect circumstances to build something beautiful. You just need to show up for each other, again and again and again. Now it's your turn, friend. Question 1. Looking back, how old were you when you first watched this masterpiece? And who were you watching it with? Share your precious memories in the comments. Let's build a time machine together. Question 2. We need to know where you stand on this. Which moment hit you harder? Option A, the scene where Bailey finally admits he has a drinking problem and breaks down completely. And B, the moment Charlie finds out he has cancer and quietly sits alone on the steps of the family house. Comment A or B to prove you're a true fan. And don't forget to subscribe for more heartwarming and nostalgic journeys. We'll be right here, saving you a seat.